Ever walked into a huge library, looked around at the thousands, maybe millions of books, and just thought, how? How could you possibly find the one specific book you're looking for in all this? It looks like total chaos. But it's not. It's actually one of the most elegant organizational systems ever invented. So let's really tackle that question. How do you find one single book among millions? It's a massive problem of information overload. And the solution, developed over a century ago, is surprisingly simple and honestly pretty brilliant. You see, it all boils down to a two-part system that answers two fundamental questions. First, what is this item? You have to describe it, give it an identity. And second, where does it belong? You have to figure out its proper place among everything else. That's it. Describe and place. Let's break down how they did it. So first up, describing the item. Before you can organize anything, you have to know exactly what it is. Every single book, map, or recording needs a unique and standardized identity. Think of it like a little ID card for each and every book. And the rule book for creating these ID cards was called the Anglo-American Cataloging Rules, or AACR for short. This wasn't just a set of friendly suggestions, it was a super detailed international code. The whole point was to make sure that a book was described in the exact same way no matter where you were in the world. And that goal is absolutely critical. Consistency. Because of this shared set of rules, a library in New York could share its catalog information with a library in London, and they'd both understand it perfectly. It created a universal language for describing knowledge. And for decades, the physical result of all this work was the humble but powerful catalog card. So let's get practical. How did librarians actually make one of these things? Well, it all started with this standard little card, 12.5 by 7.5 centimeters. Every piece of info had its designated spot. The most important part, the main entry, went right at the top. Author's last name, then first name, followed by the title. Easy to find. Then you'd fill in the rest. Publisher, publication date, how many pages, and down at the bottom, something called tracings, which included the subject headings. And those were key, because they told you what the book was actually about. Okay, so now our book has an ID card. We know what it is. But now for the next big question. Where does it actually live on the shelf? This brings us to the second part of the system, giving the book an address. And this is where the legendary Dewey Decimal Classification System, or DDC, comes into play. You've probably seen these numbers on the spines of books. It was created by Melville Dewey way back in 1873, and it's basically a map of all human knowledge, where every subject has its own unique numeric address. The absolute genius of Dewey's idea was to start incredibly broad. He took the entire universe of knowledge, everything humans have ever thought or written about, and divided it into just 10 main classes. And here they are, the Big 10, the foundation for the whole system. You've got 000 for general stuff, 100s for philosophy, 500s for science, 800s for literature, and so on. Every single nonfiction book in a library that uses this system starts its life in one of these 10 neighborhoods. So how do we get from one of these 10 huge categories to a super specific number for one single book? Well, it's all about going from the broad to the specific, one digit at a time. Let's try it.
Okay, imagine we're librarians, and we've got a new book on financial economics. We look at our 10 main classes, and it's pretty clear it belongs in the 300s, social sciences. So that's our starting point. But social sciences is a huge topic, right? So we need to zoom in. Within the 300s, the number 330 is specifically for economics. See what happened? We just added one more digit to get more precise.
And we can go even deeper. Within economics, the number 332 is the spot for financial economics. And just like that, we've found its home. 300 is the class, 330 is the division, and 332 is the specific section. Every number tells a story, getting more detailed as you go. And this gets to the real heart of it. The system is logical, but it still requires a human brain. The most important job for the librarian is to read or understand a book well enough to figure out its true subject. You can't give it the right address if you don't know where it's supposed to go. All right, let's put it all together. We have our two main components, the book's ID card and its shelf address. So how do they combine to make that final code you actually see on the spine of the book? It's simple, really. You take component 1, the DDC number, that's the subject, the shelf address. Then you take component 2, the descriptive info from that ID card, usually the first few letters of the author's last name. You put them together and you get the call number. And that call number is the whole shebang. It's the book's complete, unique code. It tells you exactly what subject you're looking for, which aisle to go to, and then helps you pinpoint that one specific book among all the others on the same topic. It's the final piece of this beautiful organizational puzzle.
What's really amazing is that while physical catalog cards are mostly a thing of the past, these core principles, describing an item with standardized data and classifying it in a logical structure, are basically the foundation of our entire digital world. Every online store, every database, every search engine is built on these ideas. So it makes you think, doesn't it? In our modern world of messy, chaotic hashtags and mysterious algorithms, what can we still learn from this very deliberate, very human, century-old quest to create order from chaos?